Hello, it's Kylie from Painting. In today's video, I'm going to be demonstrating how to paint this fox with watercolors. For this painting, I'll be using a few different size round brushes. I have a number 4, a number 8, and a number 12. And then as for paint colors, I'll be using raw umber, yellow ochre, Payne's gray, burnt sienna, and cadmium orange medium hue. All of these paints are by the brand Daniel Smith, but you can use whatever you have on hand. I will also have a drawing template available for this piece on my Patreon account. So once you get the sketch drawn, let's get started painting. I'm going to start off by adding a light wash of raw umber to the chest of the fox. Then before the wash dries, I'm going to take my number 4 round brush and drag out little hairs. This brush has a really fine point to it, which makes this process easier. And then next, I'm going to start adding some orange paint. Here I'm adding cadmium orange medium hue paint. I'm just going to spread that along the head. A little bit more orange over here. The area around the eye is a little darker, so I'm adding a saturated amount of burnt sienna here. I'm just blending with the rest of the colors. And then to the nose, I'm adding some Payne's gray. Then using my fine tip brush, I'm painting out a little line here. And while the head is drying, I'm going to move on to the body of the fox. I'm going to be using a slightly larger brown brush. This larger brush will help hold more paint and water. I'm going to start by using a mixture of cadmium orange and burnt sienna. And then next I'm going to be adding some raw umber. I'm just going to lightly mix it with the orange that's already there. And then some more burnt sienna. On the fox's stomach, I'm going to be moving back to my small brush and using my raw umber paint. I'm going to dab in a little bit of paint and then paint out little hair marks. To add some variation to the wash, I'm also going to dab in some raw umber into it. Now I'm going to continue painting down the leg. Then this front leg over here, I'm adding some burnt sienna. Then towards the bottom of the foot, I'm adding some raw umber. Now I'm going to continue painting that back leg. I'm going to start with burnt sienna, and then some cadmium orange. And then again for the foot, I'm using raw umber. And then over here on the tail, I'm adding Payne's gray. That's because there's a dark shadow here. And now I'm going to start filling in this area of orange paint. This really bright orange here is that cadmium orange medium hue. Now that the body looks pretty good, I'm going to go back into the head and add some details. First, I'm going back to my small brush and adding some gray to the nose. I'm keeping my paint pretty saturated so it appears dark. But I'm adding a light amount of orange paint. And I'll get back to it later. For now I'm going to allow it to dry while I work on some other parts. Inside the ear I'm adding some raw umber paint. And then a little orange on the outside of the ear. And I'm just going to add another layer of orange paint to the entire face. And then for the darker areas of orange, I'll be using burnt sienna. This will be a deeper and richer color. The fox has black tips on its ears, so I'm going to paint those in. Then using my Payne's Gray paint and my small brush still, I'm going to paint out some details around the eye. This painting's pretty small, so it's hard to get every detail. I'm leaving a little highlight in the eye so it looks shiny. And then for some more shadows, I'm going to be using burnt sienna again. And my final layer details will be made with Payne's Gray. You'll notice I just keep adding darker and darker colors for each layer. Adding little hair marks. And I think I'm going to blend this area in a little bit. And I'm going to add a little hair marks to the rest of the body. Just a few, I don't want to overdo it. Then I gotta add some whiskers. Alright, and then this piece is done. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments if you're going to try this piece out, and if you do, please tag me online at painted_wing or use the hashtag paintedwingclub. Otherwise, I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye now.